kick in the gut.
And it was like a hammer.
Something was wrong.
You then begin a journey of grieving a dream.
There's always a self-denial.
Because you think your son's going to be perfect.
This is the story of a kid named Sam, who had his own way of doing things. He was great with numbers and puzzles and facts, but he had some trouble with fitting in.
Right, well, that is a trailer of a locally created animated short film on autism, which will soon be available to stream online. Now, Sam the Hedgehog aims to create awareness around the experience of autistic children and their caregivers. The film is about a unique little hedgehog raised among sheep who appears to be the odd one out in his family. Now, Sam represents people who have autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. The filmmakers, however, need funding to move to the next phase of this production. And here to tell us more is Michael Clark, the co-founder and director of animation studio. I think it's MAAN?
MAAN.
MAAN?
Yeah.
MAAN, okay, all right. Michael, good morning.
Morning.
And thanks for coming in. I mean, it's an extraordinary concept, I think, and about time as well that we started to address this in the way that you are. So we had a brief idea of what the movie's about. You tell us what was the thinking behind it.
Yeah, so we started off just looking for a story to tell, and the subject of autism awareness came up through my wife, who's an OT, and we came up with this idea for a character that's a hedgehog who's autistic, and he, is a little bit skittish, a little bit shy, bit prickly in certain situations, curls up into his little ball when he doesn't know kind of how to handle a situation, and we thought that was just a really good metaphor for autism. And then the rest of the people around him are sheep initially in the film, and so it's all about this little hedgehog who's not really fitting in amongst the sheep, and his mom keeps trying to make him a little bit more like your average lamb, and trying to snip his prickles and so on. And then at the end of the film you realize actually the world's full of different animals, and being a hedgehog is,
Well, it says here that it actually aims to bridge the divide between the autistic community and the so-called normal rest of us. So this story, I mean, obviously comes from, you say your wife is an occupational therapist, so obviously her experiences in dealing with kids with autism. What kind of research went into this? How detailed does it actually get?
Yes, I mean, we're concentrating on telling a story, so we're concentrating not so much on the medical details, but a lot of research has gone into making sure that we're depicting things accurately, because it's quite a sensitive subject. So there's a local school where my wife works. We've interviewed a lot of parents of autistic kids, as well as experts in the field. My nephew was diagnosed with autism partway through the development of this project, so that brought it very close to home. And one of our animators has actually got Asperger's herself. So we live with it every day on a practical level.
How real does it get, though, in terms of just what people living with autism, kids? I mean, this would be kids, and you've spoken to adults, adults as well in part of your research. How honest and how real does it get about their daily challenges? And they are daily.
Yes,
they're hourly sometimes, don't they?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So I mean, again, we're living with those challenges daily at work. So it's really brought it home to us, and the film is actually about Mrs. Mouton, the mother's story.
Yes.
Because what we realized in developing the story was it's not so much about the person with autism needing to be changed or cured, or that's a complete misconception.
Yeah.
Actually, what the message is that people around these people, the neurotypical, the normal people, it's up to us. We're the ones that need to understand them better and make space for them in our world, and not try and fix them or fit them into our world. And that's a daily challenge, and that's what the film delves into, is the mom and her experiences coming to terms
and stop
with that.
trying to make
your hedgehog
a lamb.
Yes.
Just deal, just deal with that space. Yes.
And
what
learn
it
to
is and the people
value
around you.
his hedgehogness.
Because more and more we see more diagnoses. Am I correct? when it comes to ASD?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, our statistic on that film is already out of date.
Yeah.
Because we put that together last year, and so I think at the moment it's 1 in 57 or so. So it's diagnosis is improving, I think.
And you know, Michael, in our discussions and our interviews over the years on things like autism, we've come across the stories, especially where you look at outlying areas, where you look at villages,
Yes.
where you look at rural areas, where this is not diagnosed, it's never identified. And the poor kids are actually thought to be possessed. People
Yes.
talk about witchcraft. If not in this phase, are you planning to address that as you take this further?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, that's the biggest need, I think, locally, is in those kinds of areas. And, you know, we're hoping to spread awareness, and that's where it starts, is society at large needs to be made aware of this. And that's critical to destigmatizing autism. Yeah.
So where do we find Sam the Hedgehog, and how can we help, or how can the public help you further your project?
Yes. So there's 3 ways people can help. First of all, you can just share the project online. So we have a website, samthehedgehog.com, and links to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Share it with your friends, please. Tell everyone about it. Secondly, people can donate. So we ran a crowdfunding campaign last year, which was quite successful. We're using that to build sets at the moment, but now we need the next phase. So if you go to the website, there's links there where you can donate on the website. And then thirdly, we've got interns and so on coming through to help us work on the film, build little miniature props for the sets, animators. So if you're in the space, you're welcome to come and apply to volunteer.
Well, I know I can lend you my voice. How's that?
That would be fantastic. I'll take you up on that.
I'll be a movie star, finally. Okay, well, look, it certainly looks like it does address the issue, and I think it is for those to understand exactly what goes on with somebody who goes through this every day. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the luck taking the project further. And that's Michael Clark, co-founder and director of animation studio MAAN.